Hey there, how you doing? Charlie Winters here with horse racing and football selections for Saturday, the 2nd of November. Well, I apologise for no selections on Friday, but I just didn't really fancy anything strong. I looked at two horses. One was a non-runner and one was actually, it finished fourth paying out first three. So there would have been no returns apart from your money back for the non-runner. So there'd have been no point. But I find it an interesting Saturday. I don't think it's fantastic. I know there's a Charlie or Chase, but I can't find a bet to have at Wetherby. Regarding the Breeders' Cup, I'll probably be giving selections out around about the kickoff time for the UK football, about 3 o'clock ish. I haven't really selected anything yet, and it may even depend on whether we get something back because it isn't something I'll be watching, but I will be having a study to see if I can find something. It's interesting racing. The cards in the UK, they're a bit mixed, really. It's like a transition over from the flat season to the jump season. There's some okay races and there's some interesting betting opportunities. I do like a number of selections at Newmarket and Ayr and Ascot. And what I've done, I've gone through each meeting. I've had a bet at each meeting, but then where there's not been enough selections at that meeting, I've combined them with another meeting, similar to what we did, or I did. I think it was last Saturday, where we could have had a very nice return at the Doncaster meeting, but for me putting it on at the wrong bookmaker. So what I've done is, I've pretty much done the same again. Hopefully it's not the wrong bookmaker. It's just, this is what I've done this week. So I've had two 10 pence each way lucky 63s, where I've literally gone through one meeting and selected some horses that I really like the look of. I've gone to another meeting, like I said, and I've combined two meetings into one. And then I've gone for, on Sky Bet, which I shall show you. I haven't actually put that bet on yet, but on Sky Bet, I've actually put my strongest fancies, or even the big prices with the big prices where I think they've got a chance as well in the Sky Bet. So I like the look of every single horse, and I'm going to talk you through them now. So the first selection is Flegmatic at 20 to 1. You need to decide if you're going to take the prices. I believe I've taken the prices on Bet365 and I put everything to SP at Sky Bet apart from, I believe, one horse. So Flegmatic at 20 to 1 in the 345 at Ascot. I really like the look of this one because it's fit, and also there are a number of horses in this race that haven't ran recently, and there's an awful lot of them that have got doubts over the trip. Take a look for yourself. There are so many that have been running short of this trip that could be flagging towards the end, and flagging or phlegmatic style could mean the horse is getting into the race just as the others are tiring. 20 to 1 for a Dan Skelton horse in a relatively decent race is far too big. The second selection is Natchgeist at 9 to 1 in the 1255 at Ascot. So this is a horse, the kind of profile that I like. So it did its novice hurdling over 2 miles. Bearing in mind, this was a 1.5 mile to 2 mile horse on the flat. That would always tell me, and I've always told my viewers, that any horse that wants 1.5 miles upwards on the flat would normally want, I'd say normally at least 2.5 mile over hurdles. So this horse has been campaigned pretty much around about the 2 mile marker over hurdles. It's also had 2 recent runs over, I think it might have been 2 mile and 2.5 mile on the flat. I think that they were just to like strengthen it up and to test its. I think it's had a recent wind operation in the middle of those 2 runs, and then it ran at Huntingdon, in my opinion, over a track that's too quick for it, over a distance that's too short for it, and now it's been stepped up to Ascot, probably the race it's been aimed for, and it's been stepped up by an extra 3.5 furlong. I think this has got a really interesting profile, and there are a number of horses in this race that must improve to even run the race, in my opinion. So 9 to 1, I've took the price, but who knows what will happen on the day. I'll leave that completely up to you. The next selection is Frere d'Arms. At 8-1 in the 5-2 at Ascot. Well, once again, it's Dan Skelton, and this time it's Heidi Paling claiming 7 on board. I've seen her ride in the past, and she was okay. I think this horse, I think it's got a chance. It's fit, and that's all I can say about it. It's fit, whereas a lot of the others aren't, or might not be, should I say. Another selection at Ascot is Our Champ at 18-1, and that is too big. But the weird thing about it is, I've looked at the betting on Bet365, and it's gone from 10s to 18s. So I've got no idea what's going on for that one. So it's Our Champ at 18-1 in the 3:15 at Ascot. So this horse, it's a front runner, and there are other front runners in the race. However, there aren't regular front runners in the race. I've noticed that there's about 4 runners that could take this horse on for the lead. However, those other 4 horses don't always like to lead. They have ran well when they've led, but also some of them have ran mid-division and been prominent. So they might allow this horse, I won't say an easy lead, but to be able to dictate its own pace. The easier lead this horse gets, Our Champ, the more of a chance it's got. If they leave it alone in front, this horse could be very dangerous. And I do believe, I might be wrong, I do believe this horse ran in this race last year, but unfortunately it was taken on for the lead last time in this race. So definitely an interesting horse. I like the look of it, but I like the look of it even more if it gets left alone in front. The next selection is Oakley's Way at 5-1 in the 4:20 at Ascot. Right, I can't remember exactly about this horse, but I've got a funny feeling. Let me just check the horse below it. Yeah, so Oakley's Way, I do believe, is trained by Anthony Honeyball, and I think it's the National Flat Race. So Anthony Honeyball, I thought, oh, how's he doing? Well, I believe it's 5 runners so far this season. Right, don't quote me, but I think it's either 1 winner, 1 second, and 3/3, or it's 2 winners, 1 second, and 2/3, and that is out of 5 runners. So I'd say his team are in good order. So this horse, it's ran, I believe, 3rd in the national flat scene, and then it was brought down. Or I say it said it actually fell. I think it was bumped on the home turn and fell. So it's had a big break since. It has had, I think it's 200 odd days off since. I don't think it was injured. It probably just shook the horse up a bit. I think this horse has got talent, and a lot in this race, in this national flat race, haven't ran before. So I think Paul Nicholls has got the favourite. And it's got Headgear. Well, Headgear, first time out on National Flat. Nah, I'm all right, thanks. And Paul Nicholls, to be fair, I couldn't touch him with a barge pole because I know years ago, I don't know if it's the same now, his horses always used to go in for some kind of jab. I don't know if it was like a flu jab or something. They had some kind of jab, and I can't remember what it was. And I always remember Paul Nicholls saying it normally put them back about 2 to 4 weeks. I'm not saying that still happens, but generally, I stay away from Paul Nicholls for the first couple of months, and then around about Christmas, I expect his team to run a lot better. I haven't really looked at the form of his horses, but just as a rule, I've always kept away from him at the beginning part of the season, or autumn, should I say. And the final selection in this bet is Clap of Thunder at 6-1 in the 2:35 at Ascot. So I can't go without. I can't ignore the Nigel Twiston and Sam Twiston Davis combination at Ascot. The Nigel Twiston Davis camp is going pretty decent. I've seen it start better in the past, but no, it's going pretty well. This is his horse going for the big meeting, and I think, to be fair, I think this is a novice hurdle. The favourite is Fergal O'Brien's, I believe, and there's an awful lot of these horses once again been running over on the national hump flat. If you call it on the under the rules of national hump flat racing, and there's very little form over hurdles. I think this horse could be it could scare the favourite. And the favourite's currently 4-7, which I think is a ridiculous price. But then again, it might be a bit of a hot pot, the favourite, so I don't know. So let's get on to the next bet. So the next bet it starts off at Newmarket. So once again, it's a 10 pence each way, lucky 63. So the first selection is Music Society in the 7 minutes past 1 race at Newmarket. Well, this horse ran a cracker last time because it was part of a winner forecast and tricast and straight forecast or combination forecast bet up that I didn't advise, but I gave 3 in the race and they came first, second and third at Redcar. So this horse, as well as the other 2, pulled well clear of the 4th horse in this race. And I think Tim Easterby wants to keep this horse ticking over. Well, not ticking over. I think he probably wants to probably get some prize money before the season finishes. This horse is running well. It's well handicapped. And, excuse me, this horse last ran at Newmarket off of, I believe, a mark of 81. I think that was either last year or the year before. It's now off 62, so it's £19 lower. I don't think Tim Easterby would send it for no reason whatsoever. He probably wants to get some prize money. What I do find interesting is Cam Hardy was riding at Newcastle like tonight, Friday night, and then he makes the trip down to Newmarket for 1 ride, and this is it. So I find it quite interesting. Cam Hardy's, you wouldn't have thought is going there for nothing. I do believe it's also Southwell on Saturday, so he could have quite easily gone for 5 rides at Southwell, but he hasn't. He's gone to Newmarket for 1 ride, which is quite interesting. Don't get me wrong, it might pick up some spares, but yeah, definitely interesting angle. So the second selection is Liberatus at 14-1. I've took the price for that. In the 142 at Newmarket. I have looked at this race and I really like the look of this horse because it ran okay on its debut and then it won on its second run and then it disappointed last time, pulling too hard in soft ground at Yarmouth, found nothing, and I think it hated how the race turned out. Sorry, I can't stop yawning. So Liberatus, it wouldn't surprise me if they go off in front with this horse. Well, there are quite a few winners in this race, but they've been absolutely hammered for winning. You got horses going up between £5 and £8 for winning, in my opinion, not fantastic races. Don't get me wrong, I saw the horse win I think it's called Modern Utopia win, and that horse won well at Nottingham because I got a horse in the race that I think it was a big price. It came 4th, paying out first 3 that day, or 5th, paying out first 4 at Nottingham. It was a big price. Well, Modern Utopia won that race, and it won it really easily, but it was smashed by the handicapper. And to be fair, it had not been doing a great deal beforehand. So if that run was a fluke, it's been hammered by the handicapper and might struggle tomorrow. Don't get me wrong, out of all the horses, I do think Modern Utopia is probably one of the horses that is going to run its race, but it is favourite. But I think it's a 6 or 7 runner field. I think Liberatus should not be the outsider, and certainly should not be the outsider with Joe Fanning on board. The next selection is Encourageable at 8-1 in the 17 minutes past 2 race at Newmarket. And to be fair, I can't remember. You have to have a look for yourself, see if you fancy that one, because after picking all these horses, I can't actually remember why I picked it. The next selection is Pressures On at 8-1 in the 4 o'clock at Newmarket. This is trained by Ed Dunlop, and as far as I can remember, this horse has run a few times at Newmarket, and it's one of the few horses, in my opinion, that is a Newmarket specialist. You don't get many Newmarket specialists. You can normally handle the track, but all its best runs, in my opinion, have been at Newmarket. Well, it's a real funny track. So in such a poor race, I think to have a Newmarket specialist on your side, whereas others may not handle the track, I think 8-1. And it's Ed Dunlop. It might even be Robert Haviland on board. I'm not sure, but I think this horse has got a cracking chance. The next selection is Rock on Jet at 6-1 in the 12:48 at Ayr. Well, I am one for liking experience in novice hurdles. So this horse is one of the very few horses that has got experience. In my opinion, this horse wants a lot further because the family wanted a lot further. So this horse must go out in front. It could do a stretch in the field from probably halfway, from a long way out. It needs to go to the front, benefit from being over hurdles in the past, from its experience, and let's test these horses with only national hunt flat form. And that's what I like to see a lot of the time. I tell you what, when push comes to shove with these national hunt horses jumping over hurdles for the first time, there's an awful lot of them where the wheels can come off and they can start to struggle and backtrack very quickly. I don't know if I've got the right price in 6-1. It could drift, but it's one of the very few, like I said, with form over hurdles. And finally, in this bet is Halfway House Lad at 25-1 in the 123 at Ayr. So this selection is dangerously handicapped. There's been 3 occasions when it's ran fresh. 2 of them it's ran well, and the other time it didn't do a great deal. But I do believe that was off a wind operation. This horse hasn't achieved a great deal, but it's very dangerously handicapped, and this isn't a great race. And that's about all I can say about it. 25-1 is too big a price. So now I'm going to Sky Bet, and I'm going to show you my stronger fancies. Basically, I've just picked my very interesting ones out of the 2 bets that I've shown you, and I've placed another 10 pence each way, lucky 63. So I'm quickly going to read through these. I've left all the prices pretty much. So it's Flegmatic, so it's a 10 pence each way, lucky 63. Flegmatic in the 3:45 at Ascot, paying 4 places instead of 3. Nachtgeist in the 12:55 at Ascot, paying 4 places instead of 3. Frere d'Armes in the 2:05 at Ascot, paying 4 places instead of 3. Music Society in the 1:07 race at Newmarket, paying 4 places instead of 3. Liberatus at 14-1 in the 1:42 at Newmarket, paying 3 places instead of 2. And finally, Halfway House Lad, I've left the price in the 1:23 at Ayr, and it's paying 4 places instead of 3. And very quickly, I'm going to tell you the football bet. So don't go. So it's a very, very straightforward bet because I've actually kept it all in the Premier League. So I do believe Bournemouth, I haven't looked at the prices for this. I believe Bournemouth could cause an upset against Man City tomorrow. Bournemouth are at home, but what I'm going for is a £7 over 2.5 goals treble. The matches are as follows: Bournemouth versus Man City, Ipswich versus Leicester, and Liverpool versus Brighton. I'm also going for a £3 over 3.5 goals bet. The same matches: Bournemouth and Man City, Ipswich and Leicester, and Liverpool and Brighton. And I'll tell you for one thing, how many times have you seen teams reoppose each other quickly, and it's either the same score to the winning team as last time, or it's the same score to the winning team. Sorry, the same score to the winning team this time around that lost by the same score last time. Anyway, it was 3-2 to Liverpool. So it wouldn't. So basically, what I'm saying is, it wouldn't surprise me if Liverpool won 3-2 again, or Brighton won 3-2. I'm just saying. So those are all my bets. So come 3 o'clock, there may well be a Breeders' Cup bet for for anybody that watches the video. So this video has gone on for about 3 hours. I'm basically nodding off. It's only 8:30. So I wish you the very best of luck. If you can give me a like, I'd really appreciate it. So I wish you the very best of luck. Charlie Winters, over and out. Cheers, mate.